I don't know about you, but we're supposed to get 5 to 6 inches tonight. Snow. We're supposed to get 5 to 6 inches of snow. That's why I'm working on the snowblower. God, get your mind out of the gutter. I have a 28-inch Craftsman snowblower, and I've been ignoring doing the auger belt. I think it's the auger belt. Maybe it's a drive belt. One of the belts. I have it. I haven't been doing it. So, but I know that we're supposed to get snow, and if I don't do it, we're going to get a lot more snow, and it's going to suck the shovel. So, and it's a busy week. So I'm going to show you how to replace a belt on your Craftsman snowblower. Let's get started. Well, the first thing that we need to do is we need to get to those bolts down there, and we have to separate the case. So looks like one of those bolts came out. That's not cool. But we get around here, you can see we have the other two. So we're going to take those bolts out, and then that should allow us to kind of tilt the unit open, and that'll give us access to the belt. We should probably take off the cover. Maybe we'll do that too. Well, we have a 10mm bolt on one side of the cover for the belt, and I believe the starter motor's under here. And we have another one. Zip those out, and that should give us access to being able to see both of our belts. So this is the belt that I had replaced before. I believe this one's the drive belt. You can see the actual, this is the part that actuates in and pushes against the belt when you engage the auger. So this one is the drive belt. So auger belt, drive belt. We need to replace the drive belt because you can see that thing's whittled down to like nothing. Hopefully it's just going to be a matter of opening up the case, taking out maybe that partition there, and yeah, getting it all back together. Let's take a look here. All right, we had a 10mm for that cover. These bolts are a 13mm. Now, it should be that we kind of just pull it apart, take the auger belt over the side. Okay, so now it looks maybe, okay, that's gonna pull there. So we're gonna actually disconnect. All right, we have to undo where the direction, there's a rod that changes the direction for where you're shooting your snow, right? Your discharge. That's the word I'm looking for. We need to take that off, so that disconnects those two. We'll just thread this back on here temporarily. Push these apart. I'm going to try to take the spring off of the auger here. Man, that thing just does not want to come off, does it? Ah, there we go. Okay, so now we have it separated, which means we can kind of just move the blade section to the side. We need to move this, and looks like it's on a pivot. It's also spring loaded. I guess I need to probably take that nut off. And then looks like there's a tensioner there. So, okay, so we can pretty easily get that off. I wonder if, do we even need to? I doubt that though. There's a spot there for the door to be held by tension. Let's take this off. Okay, that's one retaining spring. Ah, you know what? You can see that this flywheel itself, or this wheel, is actually attached to this. So we need to take that bolt out right there. Alright, we're going to move that out of the way. I'm not going to completely take it out. There's a spring back here that runs to the back to the handle. Oh, okay, I'm able to get it out of the handle, which means we can successfully try and lift this up so we can get the belt off the tensioner. And will that let us, really thought that would kind of like rotate up and out of the way. Apparently it just pivots on that point. But does that mean that we can least take the belt off. Let's try to take this. I'm going to take this nut off over here. It takes off this plate. Ah, okay, that gives us a little better access. Let's see what happens with that removed. Does that? No, that just allows that to wiggle. It doesn't look like that shaft moves. There's something that I'm missing here. It's probably something easy to come off from there. Okay, so there's our crusty ass belt. Let me go get the new belt. We have our new belt. You can see obviously how much it's worn down because, you know, it is a V-belt, so it's constantly wearing on the sides of the belt, you know. It's not like a serpentine belt where it's on the inside. It's always in that V groove there. Let's see if there's some way. I feel like, you know how you just sometimes you just feel stupid, like there's something I'm missing here. So it feels like this should just slide over or do something, and it's not. But if I can feed the belt down, which I really can't, there isn't enough room to get the new belt. Oh, there's enough, but that doesn't, again, this doesn't seem like it's the right way to do it, but it's working. And then bring the belt around. We have it around our flywheel. I'm going to call it a flywheel because that's what it looks like to me. And then we've got to take the tensioner here. Surprisingly, this actually doesn't require a whole lot of force. And there we go. We have the new belt on. And we just have to get it seated as it's supposed to be. Its groove. There we go. We'll put it back together. Installation is going to be the reverse. Let's put it back together. It's a little dark, I apologize. But that wasn't a bad job. If it was something that I had to do, again, obviously, I think I could do it even faster. But now both belts are in good shape and we're ready for the snow. I do know that last year, one thing that I had is I had a loose exhaust. I'm gonna take this heat shield off, tighten up these bolts, and see if we can't get the exhaust to sit a little bit tighter because it was loud as all get out. Then we're going to check our oil and probably tire pressures, and then we're going to see if this thing fires up. Let's just use an 8mm for one thing and a 10 for the other. Stupid. At least this bolt up here keeps the, you know, the muffler from falling all the way off in operation, but it doesn't stop it from, you know, shooting a flame. Okay. So we've got our muffler off. You can see, I don't know if you can see, our exhaust gasket had turned. That probably was not helping our situation. So we have our exhaust gasket here. We're gonna put that back on. We're gonna put our bolts all the way through. That way those are held in place. 1, 2. And then we should be able to hopefully torque it down and seat those. And just line that up. We'll get those started. That's not going anywhere, I don't think. I hope. We have our bolt, put that back in the top. We have our dipstick here. We have oil. How old that oil is. I think I changed it last year. It's a big probably. We have oil and it's full. It's priming. Maybe. And it's dripping, so that's not what I wanted to see. The choke on. Screw it. Let's just try and pull start it real quick. Okay, how about no? Let's grab the extension cord. I remember back in the day when having a snowblower that would plug in was like the coolest thing ever. But it is actually the coolest thing ever. Fire in the hole. Maybe not. That's a really not good sound. It's something under there touching. So we changed the belt. The grinding on the cover, maybe it's always done it, I've just never noticed. But we tightened up the exhaust, the muffler, but it needs a new muffler gasket. It was shooting sparks out of there. But hey, it runs, so I'm ready for my 5 inches of snow tomorrow. But I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.